Some companies need to raise money to invest in new projects, maybe to build a new factory, launch a product, or expand internationally. But how do they decide whether this investment are worth it? One way is by calculating something called the cost of capital. In this video, you will learn how companies determine their cost of capital using a formula called WACC, which stands for weighted average cost of capital. Let's break down using a simple example.
So suppose there are two companies, Company A and Company B. Both want to build a new solar panel plant, and each need $1 million in funding into it. Company A decides to fund the project using only their own money from shareholder. This is called equity. Shareholders usually expect a higher return because they taking on more risk. In this case, they expect a 10% return. Company B take a different approach. It's borrowing part of money from a bank at an interest rate of 6%. And it funds the rest using equity with the same 10% expected return from shareholder. Which company has cheaper overall cost of financing? Let's calculate it using WACC formula.
WACC simply combines the cost of equity and the cost of debt based on how much the company uses each. Here is the formula. WACC equal EV multiplied by RE plus DV multiplied by RD multiplied by 1 minus tax. Let's plug in Company B's numbers. They use 50% of equity and 50% of debt. Cost of equity is 10% and cost of debt is 6%. Also, corporate tax rate is 30%. Remember, debt is cheaper than equity because of the tax benefit. Interest is tax deductible. Let's do the math step by step. EV multiplied by RE equals 0.5 multiplied by 10% equals 5%. DV multiplied by RD multiplied by 1 minus tax equals 0.5 multiplied by 6% multiplied by 6 minus 0.3 equals 2.1%. Now add them up. WACC equals 5% plus 2.1% equals 7.1%. That means Company B average cost of financing this project is 7.1%.
So why does WACC matter? Because it's the minimum return a project needs to make in order to be considered profitable. Let's say both Company A and Company B expect the solar panel plant to generate an 8% return. For Company A, whose cost of capital is 10%, this project loses its value. They would be better off not doing it. But for Company B, whose cost of capital is only 7.1%, the same project adds value. It returns more than it costs. In other words, a lower WACC means more investment opportunities become worthwhile. Now you might be wondering, why doesn't everyone just borrow more money and lower their WACC? Here is the catch. While the debt is cheaper, it comes with risk. If a company borrows too much and can't pay it back, it could face serious trouble, even bankruptcy. Companies try to balance between equity and debt to keep WACC low, while also managing financial risk.
Let's summarize what we have learned. Cost of capital is what it costs a company to raise money. WACC is the average cost of that capital weighed by how much debt and equity the company uses. Companies use WACC to decide whether a project is worth the investment. A lower WACC means more projects look profitable but too much debt, increased risk. So next time you hear about a company investing in something big, remember, they have probably crunched the number using WACC to figure out if it is worth it. And now you know how it works.